We have reports that Dr. Fatima Kyari, the Registrar of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, emphasized that improving the welfare and working conditions of health workers is crucial to stopping the current migration of medical professionals from Nigeria to other countries. Now, speaking at the induction ceremony of new doctors from Gurgri University, she highlighted the negative impact of this exodus on Nigeria's healthcare sector. Dr. Kyari, represented by Dr. Victor Kolawole, urged the government to create a better working environment to retain skilled doctors in the country. The ceremony also featured addresses from the university's Vice-Chancellor, Professor Celestina Njoku, and other officials who urged the new doctors to uphold professional ethics and deliver excellent service. The event concluded with the induction of 26 new doctors who were praised for their resilience and commitment to their profession. Now, this story is actually talking about ways in which the government can put an end to brain drain. That's having brain drain in the health sector is having medical doctors or healthcare practitioners leave the country to other countries, and most of the time for greener pastures. Is this something that we can really put an end to in Nigeria?
I think the government needs to do more by ensuring that the infrastructure within the health sectors has been fixed. We have the best doctors in the world. We produce the best doctors, but we don't take care of them as the way it's supposed to be. They are poorly paid. The allowances are not paid when due, and then the conditions of service sometimes in the areas they worked, mostly you send them for those that are in the private sector. Those that are in the private sector that choose to work in the private sector. Sometimes in the remote area where they are there to save lives, how protected are they? Okay, you see battalions of soldiers going with local government chairmen and government appointees. The doctors that save lives look as if they are nobody. Nobody cares about them. And if they are not there, we are nowhere. So I think they have right to choose where they will live better. They have right. It's their right. We only beg them not to travel out.
No, it's not only doctors that are even traveling out
Yes.
for greener pastures. In other professions, it almost feels like every young person, when you discuss their dream with them, you find out that one of it is to travel out of the country. So it seems like when you get to a particular age, just leave the country.
It's not like the other countries that are going is more better than Nigerians. It's not. It's not like they are richer than Nigeria. It is not.
So what
it's
is
just
the,
personal.
what is the issue?
It's personal decisions. Myself, I'm not going anywhere.
Why is everybody?
Because I cannot go anywhere with my own kingdom.
Why is?
Yes, you cannot be king in another man's kingdom. So I'm stuck.
But that's probably a reason you want to stay, right?
No, I don't.
If
I
that
don't
was
see any
taken
need. I
out
should
of
be
the
here and
picture
fix it.
and fix the country.
Who am I living here for? Am I living here for my unborn child? Am I living here for those that cannot fix it?
Why do we have a lot of people now?
Of course, you see
At
the
the
economy
same
of
time.
Nigeria is looking somehow that people believe that in the near future, the system can collapse. Nobody wants the family to collapse. So you look for better ways to protect yourself and your family. So I think that the leaders need to look inward and ask certain questions. Why are these people leaving my country? Does it mean that I'm not managing their resources very well as is expected? Does it mean that I'm not reachable? Does it mean that the cry of the people is not hitting my ears and my heart to do what is needful, to do the right thing? Or does it mean the infrastructures that we think we are building for these people are not good enough? What steps can we take? If you want to talk about fuel scarcity, maybe those people are not actually going there because they want to make the whole billion in the world. First and foremost, rest of mind. You go on the road in Port Harcourt now, you see all our filling stations being locked. Access to petrol, even when you have the money to buy, you cannot access it. It becomes stressful. After struggling in school, after reading all night, you start thinking all night again when you want to work. It's pathetic. It's something that I will not advise anybody to go through psychological trauma in cost of doing the job you want to do for your country. So if you see a better chance to leave, I don't advise you to stay. In as much I'm not telling you to leave.
But then, do you think our leaders really see this as a problem? Or have we all begun to see this as a normal thing?
The leaders are the problem because they send their children abroad to study.
That's
and also find ways they should be engaging abroad. And you are looting our money from here to sponsor them in abroad. And you don't care what happens here. So the children of the poor who think that we can also compete with them. And believe me, most leaders today, we are not come from a well-to-do family. Okay? So they struggle to be where they are. So they want their children not to pass through the struggle they went through when they were coming up. And that is what that has kept us this way, because you allow the child to struggle to some extent. But our leaders provide everything for their children, and their children believe.
Who would not want to provide everything?
Well, there are limits of provisions. Some parents, I don't want to go there. Some parents even aiding their children to do something in the higher institution. So what do you want that child to do? The child may not perform well because he believes the father is always there to assist at any point in time. If you want to discipline a child in the secondary school, the parents will come up, don't touch my child, don't beat my child, allow my child. If he likes, let him learn, or if he likes, he shouldn't learn. I have acquired a lot of properties for him that he can survive in all life. So this was not part of our culture back then as Nigerians. We believe in self-resilience. We believe that we can struggle. 18 years, I think they should also reduce this age from 18 downward to be an adult, because children these days are becoming very smart from the early age that they think they should be independent. But pushing that age to 18, which is our law, says from 18 you're an adult, you can stay on your own. But we have children below 18 that are very smart and can do business, eat as much as they still need parental guidance.
Already independent.
They can be independent, and are they not independent? Are they not reading books? If you check the ages of these medical doctors that they are newly inducted, you see that there are young breed among them, that they will do the best work based on their profession, because at that young age they devoted most of their time in reading. So I think the problem lies in our leaders.
But like I asked earlier, since you have said that the solution lies with the leaders, right?
Yes.
That's what you meant. But then, do they see this as a problem to start with? How do you think they view the brain drain? Because you have already stated, which a lot of other Nigerians know, that a lot of our leaders, they have their children outside. So if their kids are outside, it simply means that once you get to a particular age, it's okay to just go out, you know, not just to travel out and come back, but to have it in your plan that once I am this age, I'm leaving this country. I don't know if you have had conversations with young people, or not just young people, with people recently. Because I have, and it feels like everybody has that in their plans.
The issue is not all. When we talk about leaders, the mind of the people will just go straight to Tinubu. And they believe that is the leader I'm referring to. It starts from the family. How are you grooming your family? Are you imbibing this culture that Nigeria is the best place to do business? Are you teaching?
How do you want to teach your kids that Nigeria is the best place to do business when practical has shown otherwise?
Of course. There's no better place anywhere else.
In some cases.
There's no better place. There's no better nation. All that places, they still have their challenges.
Of course.
Everywhere is attached with the peculiar problems. But the ideas on how to solve this problem is what we need to preach to ourselves. In your family, you know, are you preaching the culture that we need to respect ourselves? Starting from the family, the society will be better. But when we focus our mind on only political leaders, that is where we get it wrong. Because they are not only the leaders we have in this country. Family, I'm the leader of my household. I had my family first before I talk about my own community, before you talk about my local government. The religious leaders also, they are also adding problems to the society, because most of our churches that have headquarters outside Nigerians, you will not see their kids. They groomed to be leaders of these churches, leading the church in Nigeria. They will prefer heading the international headquarters in hosting and any other part of this country.
If you
they are also part of the problem.
If you were in that situation and you had an international, that's why I'm asking you this question. You had an international branch. You leave your kids in Nigeria.
Let their kids be groomed.
So even if your children can handle it, because it's your child, you should not go.
They should visit and comes back here. We need that impact from them.
Let's also look at what we can do to make the place better, since we are preaching that people should not.
It still starts from the family.
Yeah.
It still starts from the family.
Okay.
Are you getting me? It still starts from the family. We were born in family that we believe that anything that our father gives us as a meal, that is what the family have as at that time. We are growing into a family where children dictate to parents what they will eat, and parents are on the pressurized parents on what they will eat. I grew up in a family where if this pap we are taking today, that is what the family have for us. And we believe that is what we can consume as at that time. We are growing into family where children are detecting that don't take part. Maybe I don't eat at home at all. Let me eat in any of the restaurants, which is exorbitant. Sometimes the father willingly in his heart is not willingly to do that, but just to please the child, and that is what Nigeria is passing.
All right, let's actually look at what the government can do, or what role the government can play in making sure that the places or the country is better, especially for business to thrive, for young minds to explore and actually get better and get advanced, even in technology and other aspects. But we'll go on a short break, and when we return, we'll let you know who our second guest is. Please. Good morning to you and welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, welcome. I'd really like to get your thoughts on this. We've been talking about the brain drain, especially when we'll have to look at the medical sector, but that's not the only sector that's experiencing brain drain. A lot of Nigerian youths are trooping out of the country. The other day we had about reports of about 70,000 students who will be affected in the UK with a new policy or whatever, and they had to take to the street to protest, and people were screaming, oh my God, we know that of that 70,000, Nigerians are going to take a whole lot of that number. That's how much Nigerians are trooping out. Royal Chief has told us the role that the family has to play, but let's look at what the government can do to make it better.
Well, I want to say that there's no way I will share from the truth. The family has a role to play, no doubt. But the onus is on also the government to give us an enabling policies. Like in China, some years ago, there was a policy that each family will have a child. It was government that said a family.
One child per family?
Yes.
Not more than one? Not
more than one. It's the government that did that in China. 5 years ago, when they considered that their population was aging, they said, no, let us increase the children in the family to 2. No, we're talking about government controlling a family. The kind of things that will help the society to be a viable one, that can be productive, that can meet the needs of the population. So as we discuss, it should be side by side. When government based on policies, is government able to implement the policies? Is the family ready to obey the policies? And if the family is unable to obey the policy or policies, what is the place of government in making sure that the policies are obeyed? That's the problem of this nation. People in government also undermine the aspect of implementing the policies of their own, of what they have agreed to put out for the public. So you see also, the family is also in a way also playing to the gallery, because those in government are not doing what they're supposed to have done. And those of us who have parents, also like you said, when I was away, today people are eating Indomie. Like what he was calling pap is akamu. Why are we shy to say it's akamu? That's what we know. Today we are talking of my. That's not like being cake. It's my. Let's be proud of what we have. I'm coming. That's not one of the things. Okay. What you can afford. Not because the other person is richer than you, and therefore you do not disguise. No. Our society is living on what I call on pretense. We don't have it, and we have it. Me, I don't pretend. That somebody can mock me. I don't care. But I'm saying the truth, because this nation is blessed by God. See, when Nigeria is saying God, he cannot come down because it's Nigeria. We have been told by my little research, no state in this country that is not blessed with natural resources. More than 3, more than 4. I did a research 10 years ago. I have written and published. But what is happening? We are not harnessing. And so what is happening? We are not harnessing the human population. And that's why people are going out to go to where they can use them. Even where they can use them as slaves. But they will get their daily bread. And that's what is happening. I got a report last week. Is it in one of the country in Africa? Is it the Kenya or whatever? Not Kenya. That we have over 70 Nigerians, up to 700 Nigerians in their prisons. In Africa here. So tell me, As we're discussing now, Mediterranean has been taken up, has been killing Nigerians and Africans every year. Why? Because we think that our country cannot provide. You can see, as we're discussing now, our president is here in China, trying to sign what they call bilateral agreement. We have been signing, but we don't know how to implement. It's all science. It's have to believe in our policies and implement. It will work for us.
Right. So if that is done, we'll have less people living.
That is it. Because see, so first go to America to wash plates. Someone go to America to take care of babies, old people. That we refuse to do it here. Sorry. Here we don't have you can hardly have, even in Port Harcourt here, home of the elderly. How many go there? How many people? In Advanced Society, people leave their houses to go to the home of the elderly. Where the will cater for them.
All right.
So today, people, most of some people who are traveling out are not traveling to go and learn, to go to schools. They are going there to see how to make money, considering the value of dollar to naira. If you have $1,000 now, come to Nigeria, you are a millionaire. So tell me why somebody will not go and be a slave. So, and we've forgotten the housing policies of those countries are working. It's not true.
Yeah.
But if the influx of people is increasing on a daily basis, how come nobody is sleeping on under the bridges over there?
There are people sleeping.
I mean, if there is, I'm not saying that, but there is not as we see here. But what is the influx of people to America, to Canada? One would have seen that, one would have believed that over 1 million should be under bridges across the land of Canada or Mexico. I mean,
But come to think of it, a lot of the people who have traveled out, to stay, have complained about the hike. That's the high price of living, the high cost of living there. But they still prefer to
because of the value,
than to come back.
Because see, the system is working. Sorry, like we are not arguing with that. We are preferring solutions to what you. The system is working. If you have the money, if you work, you get what you want. Yes, like I said, you can use $5 to buy things in America. $5, but you cannot use $5 to buy anything in Nigeria. Are you aware?
All right.
So
let's look at talking about Nigeria now and some of the things that should be looked into. Another sector that Nigerians have been calling the federal government to look into is the petroleum